how to price your services for your social media marketing agency or digital marketing agency. What's up, everybody? My name is Jordan. In today's video, I want to share with you guys how to price your services if you are an agency owner. I get this question all the time, especially when you're in the beginning, or maybe you're already an agency owner, but you just don't know how much to charge, if you can charge more, what other people are charging, and maybe you're underselling yourself, overselling yourself, and that's why you're not getting any new clients and stuff like that. So this video is going to cover all of that. For those of you that are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give this video a big thumbs up. It helps out the channel a ton, and you're gonna be able to learn a lot of free content on growing your agency. So a little bit about me. My name is Jordan Lee, and I've been able to grow a 6-figure digital marketing agency off from my bedroom without any experience, pretty much off from scratch. So I use this channel to pass back my experience, knowledge, and mistakes back to you guys so that you can grow your own agency successfully. All right, so the big question, guys, when you're first starting out your agency, this is probably one of the most asked question is, how much should I be charging for my services? Now, there's different ways to price your services depending on what you offer, really. But what it comes down to is, if you are an agency, most likely you're offering some type of lead generation service, so whether that's through Facebook ads, SEO, Google ads, but mostly it's going to be for lead generation. So I'm going to go to my whiteboard here and let's see if we can draw something up. All right, so what you charge on your clients. Now, a lot of people just have like a set price, like, all right, I'm going to charge $500. I'm going to charge $1,000, $1,500, $5,000, whatever it is that you charge your client, right? And at the beginning of my journey, when I first started my agency, when I literally first started, I was literally charging clients $500 like a month, which was nothing, right? But to me, I felt like this was great, because not only did I have my own business, got to work on my work for myself, but now I'm generating some type of income. Even if it was a $500 at the time, it wasn't much money, but still, to me, I saw it was much more than the money. It was being able to have a little bit of that freedom while making $500. So it was until I learned that it's not how much. You shouldn't have like a set price on how much you charge your clients. It really, what it comes down to is, what it matters is how much value you're bringing your clients, right? So let's make this huge, because that's really important. It comes down to how much value you're bringing your clients, and I made that way too big. So let's make this a little smaller. Perfect, right? So you don't need to have a set price where you're saying, all right, I'm just gonna only charge $500. I'm only gonna charge $1,000 for my for Google ads or something, right? Now, your pricing, it's going to vary for every single niche, because how much value you bring to each niche is different. For example, if you are working with, let's say, a restaurant, right? If you bring a restaurant one new customer, and let's say they bring their family, and each person is worth $20 to the restaurant, right? From how much food they're ordering, right? You multiply that by a family of 5 people, that's $100. So that's pretty much $100 that you have brought this restaurant, minus obviously food costs, operation costs and stuff like that. But just to make things simple here, you brought $100 of customers to this restaurant. Now, you might say that, hey, these 5 customers, they could be returning customers, so that their customer value is actually worth thousands of dollars, because now they might be referring a friend, a family, which is going to bring more people to the restaurant, assuming that the restaurant is good and people actually want to share about it, right? So you could charge it that way, more based on customer value. So you're bringing $100 to this restaurant on paper, but down the line, those customers are really worth thousands of dollars to the restaurant. One new customer could be worth thousands of dollars, $20,000 for that restaurant over a course of a year, assuming if they go eat there every day or every week, right? I don't really like that method, and the reason and that's kind of like the reason why I don't teach you guys to go after niches where one new customer is only 20 bucks, 50 bucks, $100. We want to go after bigger niches where if you're bringing in a new client, a new customer, that person is worth thousands of dollars to your client, right? So now that you're bringing more value to your client and your niche, you're able to justify your prices and be able to charge a lot more for your services. You no longer have to offer, $500, right? So let's say you're currently offering, your services for $500 or around there, right? But you're bringing your client, let's say you're only bringing your client 2 new customers each month, but each one of those customers is worth $2,500, right? That means you would have brought $5,000 to your client minus your $500. So now they're at $4,500. And let's say they had a minimum ad spend of $1,500, right? So that means you have brought $3,000 in profit to your new client, right? So this means that you can charge a lot more. Even if you charge $1,500, which is $1,000 more from the $500, then you still would have brought $2,000 to your client, and your client is going to be a lot more happy with that because they're seeing that up front and on paper, right? They're not waiting over a course of a year. It's not based off of customer value. Now, there are people that can charge based off of customer value. I'll go ahead and write this down. Option number 1 is you can charge off of based off of customer value, right? And that's what some people do. If you're going after restaurants, gym owners, where a new client is new customer is $50, $20, $100, or whatever it is. Maybe a chiropractor. You're charging those those vouchers where you're bringing a customer, a new client in for the voucher, which is about. I see it on Facebook all the time. You guys might have seen it too, but those vouchers from Facebook is probably around 30 to sometimes even 20, but mostly I see 30 to 60 bucks, and that's how much you're bringing to the chiropractor, right? Assuming that they continue to return. Now, from personal experience working with chiropractors, when I first started on my agency and I did the whole voucher stuff as well, there's a lot of tire kickers. They just want to come in one time, pay $30, get their back cracks, but they're not really willing to come back for anything else, the bigger packages, right? And so at the end of the month, you're not able to justify your prices by charging thousands of dollars because those clients that you brought in are tire kickers, and they're only paying, it's only like $30 to $60 per client, right? So I like to charge, we want to charge based off of high ticket niches, right? So high ticket niches, high ticket customers, clients, right? So if one new client is worth $2,000 or even $1,000 to your client, you're going to be able to justify your prices and charge a lot more for it. So let's say, for example, you work with coaches, right? Coaches is a good one, and I've seen a lot of people target coaches to work with. Let's see if I could, so a coach, for example here, whoops. So a coach, right? Coaches, that have mentorship courses and stuff like that, maybe they charge $1,000 for their course. They might charge $3,000, $5,000 and above for their course, right? And you are you want to generate leads for them, help them generate new clients, new students for their course, right? So each course that you help them sell, let's say it's $1,000 for their course, right? If you can bring them 4 new students each month, that's $4,000 for their course, right? And assuming that if they're a coach, they don't really have any operational costs. It's $1,000 that pure profit goes to the coach, and maybe they pay some virtual assistants and softwares and tools and stuff like that. But it's not that much. But you have made that coach $4,000 if you got them 4 new students, right? And you might bring them more. So now you can justify your prices, right, guys? You can still charge it in a way where they're still profiting, and then you're still profiting as well. So coaches is a good niche. Same with ecom clients. Some ecom clients, they have high ticket products and stuff like that, and that's a great niche to go after as well. So there's I guess with this is, I guess you could do low customers, less customers, I should say, less customers and clients, but the client value is high, right? High client value, or high ticket value, right? Or high ticket customer. Let's put that. Right, so you're only bringing a few customers in, but each one of those customers are worth high ticket. Now, a lot of people try to, the ones that go after the popular niches, they're getting high volume of leads, right? I should say less customers, clients equals high volume of, or clients, that's fine. High volume of customers, clients. But these are more low ticket clients, right? So $100 less, $20, $50. And I don't really like this method, guys, because, I guess more quantity is going to bring down the quality of the clients. And, some business owners are happy with that, right? They just enjoy seeing people coming through the door. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to go about this for your agency. It's really what works best for you and what your goal is and what type of business and niche you're trying to go after, right? So if you are gonna go, do this, you can still absolutely do that. But there's gonna be, if you're doing this with a high ticket client, they're not going to want to waste their time with high volume of leads, and none of those leads convert into a client. That's why you need to follow this business model, because if you do if you're bringing high volume of leads, not customers and clients, to a high ticket client that maybe is a plastic surgeon or something like that, and then charging $5,000, but none of those leads are they scheduling consultations, but they're not coming in, or they're not turning into customers, then your client's going to be really unhappy, and that's a reason why they drop off as well. So let's go into pricing structure. Now, the most popular one is like, you need to combine both customer value and high ticket niches, right? So I'm going to share with you what my pricing looks like, so that you can kind of have an idea and be able to hopefully implement it into your own agency. All right, so my pricing structure, well, before I even tell you the pricing, I need to break down what the customer value is for my client, right? Because I need to be able to justify my prices to make sure that my client is profiting, right? That's the most important part, because if your client is not profiting, then you don't have any retention inside your agency. And if you don't have high retention rates with your clients, then your agency is just going to break down over time. It's not a sustainable business. So the most important part in your agency is not getting new clients. It's actually being able to keep your clients, right? So you got to make sure you're able to retain your clients in order to have a successful digital marketing agency. And I feel like that's really not talked about in the agency world. It's always about getting new clients and filling your calendar up with calls and stuff like that, but no one really talks about keeping your clients. That's the most important part. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that your client is profitable, and they're making money every single month with your services. They're seeing a return on their investment, because if they're losing money, then they're not going to stick with you, right? So my client, or I should say my niche, every time I bring them a new customer, a new value, it's worth a minimum average value is anywhere between, I want to say, about, we'll go on the low end, $2,000 to I want to say maybe 5,000 to maybe upwards to even 8,000 max, right? But mostly we're gonna see a lot of these $2,000 customers, clients, and stuff like that. So really, if I bring them, 3 new clients each month, that's $6,000, right? And if I charged, whatever my fees are, and it makes sense for them, then they're going to stay on. So $2,000 upwards to $5,000, $8,000, and I've seen it go a lot higher than that. We actually had one customer that was worth about $40,000, right? So that was a very profitable campaign when we brought them one new customer, right? So I can really justify my prices. But my go-to pricing that has really worked with, I would say this is I wouldn't. High ticket kind of has different perspectives with everybody. High ticket niche might be tens of thousands of dollars. People might having a course. They have a course to sell that's $10,000, a product that's worth that much. So high ticket is kind of perceived different by everybody. But to me, high ticket is pretty much anything above $1,000, and that might be low to some people, but to me, that's how we're going to talk about it in this video, right? So my niche here, 2,000, that's how much we're bringing, that's how much a client is worth. And I should probably change this to green just to differentiate it. Okay, that didn't work. All right, that's fine. And so what has worked best for me for my niche is $1,500 for my management fee, right? And then I also do a one-time setup fee of $1,000. So that comes out to be $2,500 the first month. And then after that, every single month after that is $1,500 for the management fee. Now you can charge more, right? If the higher ticket your client is, the more you're gonna be able to charge. Like you can charge $2,500, you can charge $5,000 for your services, as long as your client is profitable, right? So that all comes down to if your client is going to be profitable or not. This works really well for this type of niche here. So $2,500. Now you might be asking, oh, does that include the ad spend? No, that is totally separate. The ad spend, we don't charge the ad spend up front. That goes directly to the platform we use to generate leads and all that stuff. So I don't charge them that up front. Minimum ad spend for this niche right here. So let's say, some of you guys might be asking, all right, how do I come up with the ad spend? How do I know how much ad spend, they should spend, right, to in order for this to work? Typically, I like to say the ad spend should be whatever their customer value is. So, for example, if one new customer to them is worth, $2,000, now this applies to only this niche, right? Because obviously, if you're bringing in a new customer that's worth $30, $60, then this isn't going to work for that. But if a new customer for this client is worth $2,000, then that means that they should be willing to spend up to $2,000 to get that, to get a client, to get a new customer, right? So that way not only they're breaking even, but they're going to be able to see enough volume, enough leads come through, big enough ad spends for them to be successful, right? So $2,000 would be the ad spend, and that doesn't get charged up front, right? And so you might be asking, all right, $2,000, plus your $2,500, that's $4,500 that this client is going to invest a month. So that means they need to make at least $5,000 back to see a return on investment, right? To make a $500 on top of that. And then plus they might get referrals and stuff after that. But ultimately they're going to be profitable, right? Not only they're going to be profitable, but they're also going to get, hopefully returning customers off of these clients. And then maybe hopefully they'll refer people as well. So $2,000 doesn't get charged up front. $4,500 total for the month. Now you might be asking, okay, well, how many leads is that going to bring in? And with that, let's do this. the question now is, how many leads will that bring in? Okay, so with $2,000, it really varies. There's so many different factors, right? I can't really tell you how many leads you're gonna bring in with a $2,000 ad spend, and the reason for that is because there's different factors, right? Number one is it depends on the niche, right? Because every niche is going to be different. Some is going to be more competitive than others. That's going to tie into how competitive your niche is, right? Your niches. So depending on the competition, if there's more competitors, then things might you might bring in less leads for that price. It's going to vary depending on the location, right? Locations, what city they're in, how populated that city is, what the search volume for that particular business or niche is. So niche and location, how competitive it is. In Google ads, we gotta see what the cost per click is. And that's going to vary also depending on the niche and the competition, the location of your business. So this is something you got to do some research on, where the business is located, how competitive their business is, what the search volume is like, how populated their city is. There's some different factors that goes into that. So you're gonna have to kind of learn how to use. In my case, I learned how to use Google Ads. You go through Keywords Planner, and it'll tell you all of this, what the cost per click is, what the search volume looks like, and then from there, they'll also tell you how competitive the niche is. You'll be able to see all the competitors and stuff like that, and from there, you'll be able to kind of calculate and estimate how many leads you'll bring in, and from that, you can kind of get an estimate of how many new clients how many new customers your clients will be able to sign. Also varying on how well your client's able to close the client, right? So typically here with $2,000 for my niche, we'll see an average of 30 new leads. So that's going to come down to, what is that? 2,000 divided by 30. Average is 30 new leads, so we do $2,000 ad spend divided by 30 leads. That's going to give us $67 cost per lead, right? Now, a lot of people might be saying, all right, I get leads for $3 to $30 on Facebook, right? I get this through Google, guys, and the reason why it costs more is because Google just brings in higher quality leads. And if you don't know about that, there's a webinar training, you can go through it and learn why it's better to actually have, pay more for a lead, but also get higher quality, right? So you can go through my training. I'm not gonna dive too deep into that in this video, right? So 30 new leads, $67 cost per lead. But this looks great on paper and all, but this isn't what I really care about. It's how many of these leads are good and actually turn into a new client, right? So let's just say 30 leads, and let's just say that this client, let's say half of them, okay? Let's say half of them weren't good leads, right? Even if we did that, right? And most of the leads that do come in, that we do generate for our clients, are good leads. But let's just say that half of them, didn't close, right? They went to, they decided to go with somebody else, or whatever the reason, right? They decided to hire another business, or they didn't need it anymore. Life happens, right? So 15 of them were actually really interested leads. They were interested in becoming customers and stuff like that. But let's just say our client only had a decent closing rate of 20%. Okay, so that's going to come out to 3 new clients. Okay, and so 3 new clients, because now this is all on the low end, guys. This is really on the low end because half of the 30 leads that we brought in, for whatever reason, they weren't interested anymore. They had their own reasons. So 15 of them were great leads. They're interested. They needed this service or product or whatever it is that your client is selling, and your client was only able to close 20% of them. Now, depending how experienced they are, how good of a closer they are, they might have a 30% closing rate, 40%, 50% closing rate, depending on how good they are. But let's just say they're a decent closer at 20%. That's 3 new clients, right? Now, if we go back here and we take the low end, each new customer is worth $2,000, right? That would mean that they have made $6,000 in gross revenue. Okay, now we need to subtract that by our fee here, 2,500 plus 2,000 for the ad spend. Whoops. So there we are, which is $4,500. So that it leaves them with $1,500 in profit, right? So you have now just made them $1,500 in profit. Not only that, but you have brought them new clients, new customers that are going to be returning, right? Because most of the time when you go with somebody and you like their services or product, chances are you're going to continue to go back to that same person, right? You're not going to go anywhere else, and then you're going to refer other people, right? So the customer value here is going to be very big. I'm not going to calculate the customer value here, but this is $1,500 in profit, right? So that's what we can predict every single month. Now, that's assuming that they are at a 20% closing rate. Now, imagine if they are at a 30% closing rate. That would mean 0.3 times 15. That's 4.5 new clients. And so you can do the math on that. Depending on how good of a closer they are, they're going to be able to make more money. But the most important part here, guys, is that they're seeing the profit up front, right? They're not having to wait 6 to 12 months or whatever for that customer value to kick in order for them to be profitable. They're profitable every single month, and that's what's going to get them to stay on with you guys, and that's how you're going to keep your retention rates on your clients high, and that's how you're going to have a sustainable digital marketing agency. So obviously, you can change the management fees, the setup fee around. It all goes down to what your niche is, what the average client value is for your clients and stuff like that. And so that's how you're going to be able to justify your prices. But if it's in this range right here, guys, then this is a very popular popular model to be able to charge your clients. Now, that is my method, right? Now, what happens when your clients start seeing results, right? Obviously, they're going to want to up their ad spend, right? If they know that they're spending $2,000 every single month and they're getting $1,500 in profit, then they're going to want to up their ad spend, because the more they spend, the bigger the profit they're going to make each month, right? So it only makes sense for them to up your ad spend. And as an agency owner, you need to urge your clients to do that, because your job is to not only bring in new customers and new clients for your client, but your job is to help them as a business grow, right? And so they don't know anything about marketing, so you need to tell them that every time they spend $2,000, they're getting $1,500, about $1,500 in profit, plus the customer value long term. So they need to increase if they want to grow their business and see more results. If they're happy and they're seeing results and they want to see more, then they need to increase ad spend, right? Because the more they spend, the more profit they're going to see. And it just you're letting them know that you have their best interest of helping them grow their business, right? So with that best of interest, you're going to tell them, hey, I don't work with your direct competitors. I want to help you grow your business. And just so that I have good faith, we have good faith, we want the more results we get for your business, we want you to reinvest that into your business so that we can help you grow. So for every client that spends $10K, $10,000 or more in their ad spend each month, right? So every client that spends $10,000 in ad spend per month, I then turn my management fee, right, this management fee, to 20%. 20% of the monthly ad spend equals my management fee, right? So what that means is, if your client is growing, your client's business is growing, then you're going to be able to grow your own business and help them continue to grow, right? Because your job is, you're going to tell your client is, my goal is to get you to continuously grow your business and make you more money, so that you can so that you can increase your ad spend and get a bigger return on your investment. And so we charge a 20% monthly 20% of monthly ad spend, and that's going to be our management fee. So for example here, if the client is spending $10,000 per month, that means our new management fee is going to be $2,000 per month, and that's how you're going to be able to grow your business as well, along with your client, right? Because if they're seeing more results, then they're going to want to increase their ad spend, and you need to let them know that they need to increase their ad spend so that they can see more results. And it makes sense, for if you're providing more value and more results, you should be able to charge more for your services. And now this is a win-win situation for everybody, right? Not only you're able to charge more, but now your clients also, seeing more results, and they're even more happy, right? And so, maybe your client, could spend to up to $15,000 ad spend per month, and so you're going to be able to charge $3,000 per month for your management fee, right? So now you're growing, you're getting your clients more results, they're happy, they're not gonna mind paying you $3,000 a month for your management fee if their ad spend is $15,000 and the return on investment is $30,000, $40,000 in gross revenue, whatever. As long as they're profitable, right? It doesn't matter, guys. As long as they're profitable and they're seeing and they're profiting, that makes sense, right? As long as it makes sense for them. So, you might be working with big, clients where they have huge ad spends, up to maybe $50,000, right? And so here you could charge, that's $10,000 per month for your services. Now, the reason why, you might be thinking, I don't feel right charging $10,000 to manage someone's campaign, but it makes sense, right? Because it's based off of value, right? You're not working at a 9 to 5, getting paid, $10 an hour to do whatever it is, right? You're charging a very specific price to solve a very specific problem or issue, right? That this issue they can't get anywhere else, right? So that's why it's so important that you specialize in what you do, right? You don't need to be offering a ton of different services or products and stuff like that. You don't have to do the email marketing, Facebook ads, SEO, website design, building. You just need to be good at one thing, be really good at one thing, be able to solve that problem, and you're going to be able to charge whatever you want, right? So that's my tip on being able to charge this high. And so if you don't feel comfortable charging that much, you can always cap it off. You can always tell your client, if your client starts getting a little sassy and they start complaining, you can always tell them, we're capped off at $5,000 per month or something like that, right? As an agency owner, that's your decision to make, but that is my take on being able to charge this much. It comes down to how much value you're bringing, and being able to specialize in a very specific problem that you can solve that your client can't find anywhere else. So hopefully this video was super helpful. I know this video is a little long, but I hope I was able to break down the pricing structure that makes sense. Hopefully it light something up, and if it did, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you thought this video was helpful. It really helps out the algorithms or whatever, however it works. And if you have any questions, put it in the comment section below, because I always get back to you guys. And so my name is Jordan Lee. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.